So, picture this. You're out alone at night. Maybe you're driving down the road or attending an event and wandered away from the crowd. You see a woman dressed all in white and decide, for whatever reason, to approach her. But at some point in your interaction, maybe even before it starts, she disappears right before your eyes. You later discover the truth about this woman. The white outfit is her wedding dress, and she was just left at the altar. Maybe she couldn't bear being jilted and decided to take her own life. Whatever the case, she's not of this world. You've probably heard variations of this story before. Legends of ghostly women in white have been reported not only throughout the United States, but around the world. Here are 5 creepy women in white legends. You probably know about Detroit's 8 Mile Road that famously divides the city. But you may not be familiar with the similarly named East 8 Mile Road in California. The road runs through Stockton, about 50 miles south of Sacramento, and is occupied by more than just the occasional turtle or deer. According to motorists who use the road at night, a woman wearing a white dress often appears on the side of the road, or even in the middle of it. But if you think, well, I'm going to ignore her just to be safe, think again. Even if you don't pick her up, she allegedly disappears from the road only to appear in your back seat. Stories also say she's killed drivers before, so this is one malevolent ghost. And she's not alone on the road. The ghost of a Native American girl reportedly wanders the area as well. Legend says she was killed in an accident on the road, and her screams can be heard at night. My more fashion-forward viewers might be familiar with the brand Neiman Marcus, but I bet you never thought you'd hear about it in a ghost story. In White Rock Lake Park in East Dallas, stories date back to the 1930s of a ghost girl in a long white Neiman Marcus dress. They say she appears to motorists at the park soaking wet. If someone offers her a ride home, she gives them an address about 1.5 miles away and pops right in. But at some point in the journey, she disappears, leaving nothing but a puddle behind. The motorist decides to check out the address anyway, just out of curiosity. When he or she arrives at what turns out to be an ordinary house, they knock on the door and a man answers. When the motorist tells the man what happened, he says that girl perfectly fits the description of his daughter, who drowned in the lake. Some versions say her death was an accident, others say she took her own life by jumping in. One sighting of this so-called Lady of the Lake was by a Neiman Marcus employee who must have recognized the girl's dress as being made by the brand. When he and his wife approached the girl's father, he informed them that his daughter loved Neiman Marcus and wore nothing else. I guess if you're going to encounter a ghost, it might as well be one with style. I've talked several times before about ghosts that haunt the various Disney parks around the world. One that hangs around the Anaheim location is a notorious woman in white. And unsurprisingly for the happiest place on earth, she's not only benign, but actually pretty helpful. The woman has been spotted on Main Street, often window shopping, so maybe we have another fashion-savvy ghost. She reportedly wears clothes reminiscent of the early 1900s, and is thought to hang around Main Street because of its old-timey feel. She also appears at guest services, guiding lost children so they can be reunited with their parents. How sweet of her. The property used to be Orange Grove, so maybe she worked there or spent a lot of time there before her death. Whatever the case, I'm really glad to have a friendly ghost on one of these lists. For the next woman in white, us Americans will travel across the pond to the UK. There are gobs of legends there that fit the woman in white bill. But the one that stood out to me most was the one at the Old Mill Hotel. This hotel is located in Motherwell, Scotland, about 15 miles southeast of Glasgow. The town boasts just over 30,000 residents, but not all of them are living. According to legend, the woman was set to be married in the hotel, but her fiancé jilted her at the altar. And as if that wasn't bad enough, she was later attacked and beaten by another man who also had feelings for her. The woman was so upset that she just started running away and didn't notice when she jumped in front of a train. Though she wasn't actually hit by the train, she just died of fright. Kind of an anticlimactic ending if you ask me, but I'm just the messenger here. After the woman's death, she started to haunt her fiancé who jilted her, still wearing her wedding dress. Frankly, if I were her, I'd haunt the man who beat me up, but to each their own, I guess. Today, the woman is said to be buried near the hotel, and her ghost has been spotted under a tree on the property. 50 miles south of Sicily, Italy, lie the Maltese Islands. With its rich history, it's no surprise that Malta has its share of spirits, including its own woman in white. This woman haunts the Verdala Palace, built all the way back in 1586. It was briefly used as a military prison during the French rule of the island, which lasted a long and impressive 2 years. But it's been used as the private summer residence for the president since 1987. It's not clear who this woman was in life or when she died. As the legend goes, the woman was forced to marry a man she didn't love. In some versions of the story, he is a knight. On her wedding day, the disgruntled bride-to-be refused to accept her fate and jumped off a balcony to her death, still in her wedding dress. Another version of the legend refers to her as the Blue Lady and says she didn't take her own life, but tried to escape the palace through a window and fell to her death. Regardless of how she may have died, she reportedly never left the grounds and has been spotted around the balcony. Palace guests have claimed to see her during the annual August Moon Ball, the only time the palace is open to the public. So those are just a few of the so-called women in white who haunt different areas around the world. Let me know your favorite woman in white story in the comments below. Thanks for watching and have a creepy day.